My name is June A. Vandegrift, 31 years old, and 3 days ago, I was supposed to marry the man who rejected me 13 minutes before I walked down the aisle. His name was Julian. We had been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months, and for most of that time, I truly believed I had found the person I would grow old with. I planned the proposal myself, because that was always me, the planner, the fixer, the woman who thought love meant making the moment perfect enough that no one could ruin it. I took him to his favorite restaurant, the same place where we had our first anniversary dinner, and asked him to marry me with a custom ring I had saved for months to buy. He cried. He said yes immediately. He posted about it for weeks. Everyone said we were perfect. I should have seen the signs earlier, but I was too busy being in love like an idiot. The wedding was set for Saturday at 3:00 p.m. at a beautiful estate venue about 40 minutes outside the city. We booked it a year in advance. The deposit alone was $8,000. By the time we added catering, flowers, photographer, band, rentals, and all the little details nobody warns you about, the total was around $73,000. My parents contributed $20,000. I covered the rest. Julian's parents offered $5,000, but the check never arrived. I told myself not to care. I was marrying him, not his family. That Saturday morning, I woke up at the hotel where the bridesmaids were staying. My maid of honor, Marissa, was already up, making coffee in the little kitchenette and humming like she had personally invented weddings. "Big day," she said, grinning. "You ready to do this?" "Born ready," I told her. At 9 a.m., I texted Julian. "Good morning, future husband. Can't wait to see you at the altar." He did not respond right away, but I assumed he was busy with his groomsmen. Hair, suit, nerves, whatever men did before weddings when they pretended they were calmer than everyone else. By 11, still nothing. I called. Straight to voicemail. At 1 p.m., my mother called, and I knew from her voice that something had shifted. "June, honey, have you heard from Julian?" My stomach tightened. "No." "Why?" "His mother just called me. She said he left the hotel around 10:30, told everyone he needed to clear his head and went for a drive. He hasn't come back." For a second, the room blurred. The curling iron hissed on the vanity. Someone laughed down the hallway. My dress hung by the window in its white garment bag, untouched and glowing like a cruel joke. I called Julian 14 times in the next hour. Every call went to voicemail. At 2:47 p.m. 13 minutes before the ceremony, my phone buzzed. "I can't do this. I reject you." "I'm sorry." I stared at the message until my hands stopped feeling like part of my body. "I reject you. Not I'm scared. Not I need time. Not I'm sorry I can't marry you. I reject you." Like I was an application. A mistake. A thing he had reviewed and declined. Marissa took one look at my face and grabbed my shoulders. "What happened?" I handed her the phone. Her mouth fell open. "You have got to be kidding me." I did not cry. I did not scream. Something cold opened inside me instead, wide and hollow. 4 years. A house we had talked about buying. Children we had named as jokes. A future I had built in my head, brick by brick. And he ended it with a text message, while 160 people waited outside. Marissa asked quietly, "What do you want to do?" I looked at my bridesmaids, my mother, the flowers on the table, the dress I would not wear. And something in me became still. I need to tell everyone. I walked out to the venue. Guests were already seated. My parents were in the front row, pale and confused. Julian's parents sat on the other side, his mother crying into a tissue, his father staring at the floor. I walked to the microphone. The room went quiet. "Hey, everyone," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I'm sorry to tell you this, but there will not be a wedding today. Julian has decided he cannot go through with it. I just found out a few minutes ago myself." The room erupted. Gasps, whispers, people standing up. I raised my hand. "But listen, we have a beautiful venue. We have food, an open bar, and a band that is already here. So here is what we are going to do. This is now officially an I dodged a bullet party. Everyone is invited. Drinks are on me. For one stunned second, nobody moved. Then Marissa started clapping. My older brother joined in. Within moments, half the room was applauding. And somehow, the party happened. People ate. People drank. My college friends turned the speeches into a roast about near misses and terrible exes. My father pulled me aside later, hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe, and whispered, "You handled that with more dignity than most people could." Around 9 p.m., Brielle, one of Julian's closest friends, found me on the terrace. Her face was pale. "June," she said, "there is something you need to know." I already knew it would hurt. Still, I said, "Tell me." She swallowed. "Julian has been seeing someone else. Her name is Tessa. He met her at his gym. It's been going on for about 2 months. The night air went quiet around me. He was cheating," I said. Brielle nodded, tears in her eyes. "I told him to tell you. I swear I did. He kept saying he would handle it." I looked back through the glass doors at the party that should have been my wedding. Julian had not gotten scared. He had gotten caught by his own conscience too late. And whatever happened next, I knew one thing clearly. I would not be the woman waiting for him when his new life fell apart. Sunday morning arrived like a punishment. I woke up in the hotel room, still wearing yesterday's makeup, my hair pinned half loose from the style I had never walked down the aisle with. My phone had nearly 200 messages, friends asking if I was okay, relatives apologizing, vendors sending final invoices, guests posting careful, blurred photos from the party that should have been my wedding reception. There was nothing from Julian. Not one apology. Not one explanation. Not one attempt to face what he had done. I spent the day moving through practical tasks because practical things were easier than grief. I called the venue. No refunds. The caterer. No refunds. The band. No refunds. Because Julian had ended everything less than an hour before the ceremony, nearly all $73,000 was gone. I listened to every polite apology and wrote every number down like I was documenting a crime scene. Monday morning, I called a locksmith and had my apartment locks changed. That evening, my phone rang from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. "Is this June?" a man asked. His voice sounded older, rough, exhausted. "Yes." "This is Robert, Tessa's father." My chest went cold. "Tessa," I repeated. "My daughter was with Julian. There was an accident." For a second, I could not speak. "They were driving back from a weekend trip," he continued. "A truck ran a red light. It hit the passenger side. Tessa is in surgery. Julian has a broken arm and some cuts, but he keeps asking for you." I sat down slowly on the edge of my bed. "Why are you calling me?" "He said you were his fiancé. He said he needed you." I almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because the cruelty of it was so absurd my body did not know what else to do. "I am not his fiancé anymore." 10 minutes later, Julian called from his own phone. I answered because I wanted to hear exactly how low he would go. "June," he said, voice shaking. "Please, I need you. I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. Please come to the hospital." "No. I almost died. Tessa might not make it." I realized what matters. I realized I love you. "You realized that in the hospital with the woman you cheated on me with?" He started crying. I panicked. I didn't know what I wanted. "You texted me 13 minutes before our wedding and said you rejected me." I was scared. "You humiliated me in front of everyone we know." I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you." "No, you won't." His breathing hitched. "June, please. You chose Tessa. I hope that works out for you." "It doesn't. She's not you. That is not love, Julian. That is your backup plan failing." I hung up. He called again immediately. Then the texts came. "Please don't do this. I'm sorry I hurt you. I was confused. I need you." I did not answer. Tuesday morning his mother called me. Her voice was sharp with grief and blame. "You need to talk to him. He is falling apart. With all due respect, Mrs. Voss, he ended our relationship. He made a mistake. He cheated on me for 2 months, abandoned me at our wedding, and came crawling back because the woman he chose is in the ICU. That is not a mistake. That is a pattern. You're being cruel." "No," I said. "I'm being unavailable." She hung up. Wednesday afternoon, exactly 72 hours after Julian sent the text that destroyed our wedding, my phone rang again. "Unknown number this time, probably borrowed," I answered. "What do you want, Julian?" He was sobbing before he spoke. "Please take me back. I'll do anything. Therapy, counseling, a prenup. I'll never see Tessa again. I swear I was wrong. I can't lose you." "You already did." "No, please don't say that. We can fix this. Let me be very clear," I said. "You did not make one mistake. You made choices. You chose to cheat. You chose to leave the hotel on our wedding day. You chose to reject me by text instead of facing me. And now you are choosing to come back because the life you ran toward fell apart." "You're not my second choice," he cried. "You're my only choice. I see that now." "You see it now because your other choice is lying in a hospital bed. That's not fair." "You know what wasn't fair? Standing in front of 160 people and telling them the man I loved had abandoned me. Spending $73,000 on a wedding that became a public funeral for my future. Finding out from your friend that you had been cheating while I was planning our life." "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I love you." I closed my eyes. Then I gave him the reply he had earned. "I reject you, Julian. Lose my number." I hung up and blocked him on everything. A month has passed since then. I moved to a smaller apartment with new locks, blank walls, and no memories of him. I donated most of the wedding gifts to charity. Julian's sister reached out about returning the engagement ring. I told her to keep it. Sell it. Throw it into the ocean. I did not care anymore. Tessa survived, but according to Marissa, Julian and Tessa did not. The accident was too much. Her family blamed him. His family blamed her. The romance that was supposedly worth destroying a wedding collapsed under the weight of real consequences. My parents have been incredible. Dad took me fishing last weekend. We barely talked. We just sat by the lake while the morning light moved across the water, and somehow that quiet did more for me than any speech could have. I have started dating again. Nothing serious. Coffee dates. Walks. Conversations with people who do not make my stomach twist when my phone lights up. Sometimes I think about that text. "I can't do this. I reject you." At first, I thought those words would haunt me forever, but now I think they saved me. Julian showed me who he was before I married him, before children, before mortgages, before a life tangled too deeply to escape cleanly. He rejected me at the altar, and 72 hours later, I returned the favor.